Hi. I actually did what I said, and I am posting another review. Oh my god. No, but seriously, I'm happy that I am actually keeping on schedule and doing another review. And as promised to my two loyal viewers, who are myself and myself, I will review Perfect Chemistry by Simone Elkeles. I'm really, really bad at pronouncing things, and I'm gonna blame it on the fact I'm from the South, okay? So I can't pronounce her last name. Anyway, Perfect Chemistry is a young adult romance novel, contemporary. It's based on Romeo and Juliet. It's basically a retelling of it, only with gang members, but it's not West Side Story. And it started out really promising. I mean, I was sucked in from the beginning. It alternates points of views between rich girl who seems like she has it all, Brittany, and Hispanic gang member Alex, short for Alejandro, and their antagonistic relationship towards each other, which morphs into Romeo and Juliet type forbidden love. And Brittany, on the surface, is perfect little rich blonde girl who has it all, but really her life is really stressful. Her mom has like anxiety, like crazy anxiety, and her sister has cerebral palsy, and her dad's never home, and she's trying to keep this perfect life on the surface so that no one sees that she's completely nutted underneath. And Alex has this life on the other side of the tracks, like in the ghetto or whatever. And he's part of a gang and he has to keep his family safe. And he's this bad boy, but he's not really. But he puts off this image like, I'm a bad boy, don't mess with me. Because he doesn't want people to see underneath that he's not. And so, sorry, I thought my phone went off. Um, so the story is like Brittany already has a boyfriend named Colin who's a douche and he's pressuring her to have sex. He's all like, if you really love me, you'd have sex with me. And she's all like, if you really thought I loved you or you really loved me, you wouldn't need me to prove it to you. Which brings me to my one annoyance with this book. Brittany is a hypocrite. She spends all this time with Colin being like, you wouldn't need me to prove my love to you if you really loved me or if we really loved each other. Which I can get behind that. But then, as soon as her and Alex have anything, she's like, if you really love me, you quit the gang. Which, okay, no, I mean, I understand. He should probably quit his gang. I'm all for that. I understand that. But she's using the exact same thing she broke up with Colin about to pressure Alex into doing what she wants him to do. And then she's like, oh, we blah blah blah. Are you gonna quit your gang now? And he's just like, no. And it really, really annoyed me. I kept thinking that, someone was going to call her on it. But eventually he's like, she's right. I must do what she wants me to prove I love her. And it's like, get over yourself. Like, I really hate that she wasn't called on her hypocrisy. And that, like, ruined this whole book for me. Like, I really enjoyed it until the last 100 pages. And then it all went downhill. It tried too hard. The ending, too cliche, too happy, too concrete. And oh my god, time skips. 3 months later, 5 months later, 5 months after that, 23 years later. 23 years later. That one was a bit of a stretch. I have a thing about books. I don't like my endings vague, okay? This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen has a really vague ending that makes me really, really infuriated. And so I'm not one for vague endings, but I don't want it too concrete, and this is just too concrete. It's, and they lived happily ever after. And let me tell you exactly how they lived happily ever after. And it's like, stop. I don't want to know this, I don't want to hear this, especially when, as I pointed out, she's a hypocrite. I feel like their relationship has a lot of issues. He has this bet that he can sleep with her before Thanksgiving, which is the only reason he shows interest to her in the beginning. So he's got these lies, and she's got these lies, and she's a big old hypocrite. And there's all this gang stuff going on, and there's all these things keeping them apart. And I feel like their relationship is really rocky. I mean, it's not solid. If it had ended on a kiss and a promise that they might have happily ever after, yeah, that's fine. But telling me in details they did this and this and this and this and this is the rest of their life for the next 23 years really, really pisses me off because honestly, I don't think this couple would make it. Like, I don't at all. I mean, they'd probably date for like 2 years and then break up. So I find it really infuriating that this book decides to just go on and on with these cliche, forced endings to make everything seem happy. besides that, I did really enjoy the book. Like I said, until the last like 100 pages, I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I probably will not read the sequels about Alex's brothers, Carlos and Louis. Louis, is it Carlos? Is that his name? Yeah, it's Carlos. I probably will not be reading those because if this is any indication, I'm going to really enjoy them until the end, where they just hammer in the happy, and I don't like that. I don't want vague, like the end of Amplified. Um, I can't remember the author's name right now, but like that and this lullaby are very very vague, and I don't want that. But I do not want this forever type stuff. Like in Breaking Dawn, that's one of my main problems with Breaking Dawn. It's one of my main problems with the epilogue of Harry Potter, the 19 years later. Like, I find it really hard to believe that Harry would have married Jenny, because I find it hard to believe they all, like, just marry their Hogwarts sweethearts. I mean, the majority of people don't find their soulmate when they're, like, 15 or whatever. So, I hate too concrete endings, and I feel like this ending was just too forced and too concrete. So, there you have it. Perfect Chemistry by Simone Elkeles. I still can't pronounce that name. Um, I do recommend it. I guess. I mean, I bought it, so I liked it. It's happy. It's really happy. And if that's something you like, then that's okay. And that's my review for that. I don't have next 2 weeks reviews picked out yet. I will think of something and get back to you. I promise I'm going to try to keep my schedule. I will. This is BookishBelles, and until next time, read. Read a lot. And read whatever you want to, regardless of reviews, regardless of my reviews, regardless of anyone's reviews or opinions. As long as you're reading, it's fine. It doesn't matter if what you're reading is popular or if it's deemed as crappy. If you're reading Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey, The Hunger Games, Divergent, whatever, as long as you're reading, then it's good. So just read. Go forth and read.